What up, y'all? This your boy Westside Willie, pilot of the Bebop, coming in. I'm just letting y'all know that we will be departing from Detroit very shortly. So everybody get in their seats, sit down, relax, and if there's any thickums on this flight, you're invited to the cockpit.
Bebop, we got it on lock. Check your wristwatch. Tick-tock, time for lift off. You hear the stars calling. Baby, come and hold me tight. Cause the sky's falling in deep space, writing these jams. All I need is Jordan, don't look back. It's a price on your head, and they'll double that pay. If you alive, not dead. These cats is new to these scenes and new to these walls. And when the shots start firing, they start to look for the door. Baby, don't get too close. I'm a cowboy. Wake up and see that I'm gone, I'm where the stars going. One thing I can say about life is that it's not born. And one thing I can say about us, we'll never stop hunting. I'm with my day ones, double shot, messing with my third eye. Brody wanna tag along, well we need a fourth mic, I plead the fifth. If the feds start catching up in space so long, I'm getting used to us suiting up with my day ones, double shot, messing with my third eye. Brody wanna tag along, well we need a fourth mic, I plead the fifth. If the feds start catching up in space so long, I'm getting used to us suiting up.
Like that Polish kielbasa?
And mic check, Bebop Boys back. Welcome back to the Bebop Boys podcast, where we talk about trains, shapes, blocks, and all types of odd shit.
This is the autism episode.
Sex noises.
Silent during sex is crazy.
Nobody's hearing you.
Antonio apparently said that he is silent. He has silent sex.
It's a fucking
silent sex.
It's a fucking silent movie. The subtitles after.
Don't be like, because also I feel like my voice isn't sexy, even if it's being. Why am I talking about this?
You gotta practice it.
I don't know. I don't feel like do you hear how nasally my voice is and
Like,
shit?
it's okay.
I feel like
You
it's
gotta
not
practice
sexy.
it. Practice it in
You
the
be like,
mirror. Yeah.
Be like, hey baby, you like that? Yeah.
Big tone, not the little one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
You like
Then you
that?
gotta
daddy?
ask them what's the sound they make when you put it in.
I did say, I was like, fuck, you make my dick so hard.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
See, there you go.
And then
Yeah.
the under
Like I do that, like, and yeah.
you got about a
You're like Batman action signs.
wider
Pow.
vocabulary
Whack.
of words than
Right, pow.
Right.
be in there like
Yeah, it's like, I don't think my voice is sexy. So, like,
But the other person might. This ain't about you.
I know, but like, I'm too.
Don't be in your
the
head during
it's,
sex.
It's the tism. So, like, I'm too in my head.
How does that
Autism activates during
Yeah.
sex. I love trains. This is great. Shapes are pretty
Chugga
sweet.
during sex.
You're like, choo choo. So,
Just
yeah.
a couple pumps in.
I just Chuck, that's how I count myself so I don't come fast.
you
Oh
go.
my fucking God.
You're already
Oh.
making Mike uncomfortable. Purge uncomfortable.
No, I think Persia's just. I don't know what he's doing. Actually, let's just.
I think he's
I think he's prepping.
You better hurry up before I ask.
There's a lot of
He's
there's a lot to process in this conversation.
prep time.
What?
I just said you were giving prep time.
How was your weekend, Lear?
not the weekend update.
Not important. Not important.
I went
Nothing.
to our show, I will say. I went to our
good.
show.
Is that what you sent us?
Oh yeah, he did.
Those
Bro,
pieces
I
were
thought that was you on the picture.
What?
Bro, because it looked like you.
When did
like,
you
this
send
nigga
it?
is
Him in a
posing-
doggy mask. You know
Oh, that's
That's
you know those are
racist.
Sexual, right?
That's right. The doggy mask.
No, saying it was him.
Yeah.
Well, he has an inner wolf.
Raised by the wolves.
How?
Got that dog in me.
How?
You know, wolves are actually big as fuck.
Yeah.
Huge.
I seen
They're
the
like-
radar.
Yeah, I watched Twilight.
3 times
Yeah.
the size of even
You
like
remember
a
it over here.
German Shepherd.
Yeah, like them
Twilight
niggas
was
ain't no
scary.
joke.
T-
There's
you think
a-
Twilight is scary.
The
That
wolves
man-
in Twilight.
That man imprinted himself on a baby.
Bro, he was diamond
That's
face.
blame the fucking weird bitch who wrote the books.
Yeah.
Well, she's a Mormon, and like I feel like that was her. That whole story was like
I don't know anything about that.
a euphemism for her very sad.
No,
Love
it started out as fan fiction for fucking 50 Shades of Grey.
No, it was the other way
50
around.
50 Shades of Grey was
Started as
fan fiction
of that?
of Twilight.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
You
my
can't
bad.
tell?
How the fuck? No, I never watched either.
Hold
one of
on.
either.
I want to ask
Or re-
Antonio about the art show. How was it?
Oh, it was. Thank y'all.
Yeah, how was it?
It was nice. It was really dope. So it was in Detroit.
Don't say
near-
it like that.
Ferndale.
No, it was in Detroit. It was in near Indian Village or West Village now. What do they call it now?
American Village.
West Villages, whatever the white people call it now after they colonize the area. Well, how you go colonize the already colonized area? Because that area is already like big houses and stuff like that. So it was real nice. I love doing shit like that. I love doing art shows and doing weird stuff like that.
Did you go by yourself?
No, I went with my ex, who is now my homie. It's a complicated relationship. We could talk about that after the pod.
Yeah, I got questions.
I got questions too. Was that the nigga you was doing the sounds with? The train sounds?
Fucking hate you. Oh.
So besides
Sometimes.
besides the picture of Persia, what else you see?
That wasn't Persia. I'm gonna send you the pic. Well, you got the pic in the group chat. Just post it. We gotta credit him though. We can't do it. Never mind. We can't do that.
Credit that nigga.
I don't know if I had the shit in the picture.
Detroit
But
art
anyway,
show nigga.
it was dope. It was the
Perfect.
Indian Village. Oh, I saw a nice installation. So the lady took all like different liquor store signs. I think I have a video of it. And she made an installation and it just rotated and it had different liquor store signs. Like 24 hours, hot sandwiches, pizza, ice, the different pictures and stuff. And like as a person who I grew up in, like it was literally stuff taken out of that area. And I grew up over in Indian Village actually. So it was kind of nostalgic for me. Like I almost got emotional watching it because I literally reminded me of shit that I saw on my block, on Jefferson, on Van Dyke, on Lafayette,
Damn, I should have won.
growing up. And some like white lady made it or whatever. She said she like did it because she's noticing all those stuff is going away in that area.
Right.
And
Because of her people.
I was just about to say it. Whose fault is that?
and
That white guilt.
it's crazy. And it's also crazy because like it's not that we don't have liquor stores in the suburbs, right? But they look very different. They are
Closed very early.
that too, but they're also in like liquor stores in the city are like built in like brick houses and shit. These are like the liquor stores out here in the suburbs are like built in like shopping centers. And
Oh no, they don't know we in the suburbs. We could be in the hood. We could be in the trap right
we've
now.
been in Rochester for the last 2 years.
Okay.
Three.
All right.
From Flint.
So not Flint. So yeah, it was a very good art show. I love doing shit like that. I told you I do weird shit. Like I don't just like I'm not
Didn't
just,
invite us, and that's fine. We're
I
not
went
gonna
with
take-
homeboy.
He was on a
Invite?
date.
I
It
don't
wasn't a
care.
date.
You could have
He
been
was
like,
a date.
hey,
It was
there's
a
this
date.
art show going on.
Just
We
my
could have been
nigga.
in there.
He's just my nigga who
I don't know what we are then, so it's fine.
you my niggas, but like
It could have been a
He ain't
3-man.
pop us yet, so he can't take us to the fucking museum.
Wait
and
a
shit.
minute. Wait a minute. Keyword is yet. What the fuck? Opportunities may arise. Opportunities may
Not
arise.
yet. They ain't spending
Yo.
money on these niggas at
Yo.
all.
Keep an eye on
Get the money
Lear.
and that's it.
Keep an eye on Lear moving
I like how you
forward.
scooted away from me.
No.
He's leaning more towards you, actually.
Keep
Oh,
it.
man.
Keep an eye
Get it
on
first.
Lear
Do the-
moving
update.
forward.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. If I
His
can
girlfriend
go
gonna
to
be
the
He
museum,
said,
nigga,
this
shit.
nigga said
I like
he
museum.
ain't pop us yet.
Us, all of
All
He
of y'all.
volunteered.
Just talk about a train.
There goes that autism.
Choo choo.
Look like human centipede.
I'm in the back. I'm just like, I'm at the back end. I'm not doing
You're
that.
at the
need,
back end of human centipede. So
Yeah.
you're eating the shit of two people's
No, never.
processed shit.
I'm thinking penetratively. I'm not
I'm thinking of the
I'm
movie
not
just straight up.
I'm not eating anyone's ass.
Have you watched Human Centipede?
Yeah, I have.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
But we were
all right.
speaking
Before we
of
get in the ass
sexually.
Ass to mouth train.
Anyways, but yes, the art show was very nice. I'll show y'all the installation I was talking about in a second. But yes, it was very nice. Oh yeah, we could do stuff like that anytime.
Sure.
Shut your bitch ass.
Niggas want to wine and dine us, bro.
We went to the Mercury Bar afterwards. I got a $16 burger.
Damn.
No, the order was $16. It was a $16 burger and fries. I
Then
didn't
you
even
hit
drink.
afterwards?
Yeah, I did actually.
Okay.
Slut.
How was
It
exactly?
is. I've been there before.
How was your weekend?
I did actually.
We gotta,
I don't remember it.
Okay. Mike, any purse?
I don't remember.
All right. So
Wait, let me try. Hold on. Let me think. Persia. I can't dead name him. He gets mad at me. Was I at home? I don't remember if I was at home. I don't know what today is. Wednesday. Shit. I don't know. Nope. Nothing. I don't remember.
I just know I watched a lot of docs over the weekend. I watched 4 of them. 4 of them bitches.
Did you watch the Scott Peterson one?
Were you
Yeah,
watching
Steve
it with
Peterson?
I
Pablo?
saw that last weekend.
What did you real quick thoughts and feelings? Do you think he did it?
Yes.
Or the Scott Peterson doc?
Yeah.
From what I remember, yes, I believe he did. I don't think my girl think he did it.
but I think he did do that shit.
I
That
think we
wasn't
agreed he did
most-
that shit.
It's split
like
down the
10
mid.
years
Like a lot
ago.
of there's a huge group that think he didn't do it. There's a huge group that think he did do it.
Really
Why?
interesting.
There is no physical evidence that
He was just good at
it's
his job.
just a lot of coincidence. Yeah. It's like very coincidental. Like he bought a boat the month she went missing. He had never boated before. He got his boating license that year or that month too. And then he was dating this woman. And that was the biggest part was the woman he was dating because she found out he was married. I'm gonna watch that in a second. But the woman he was dating that girl. And then she found out he was married because she didn't know he was married. And she was like, "Why didn't you tell me you were married?"
Bitch,
and
why
he
you
was
wanna
like,
know?
he was like, "My wife died a year ago, and this is my first holiday without her." Mind you, 2 weeks later, his wife goes missing. But he said that to her. He was like, "This is my first holiday without her." Little did he know that man could see that his observation hockey was insane because he could see the future.
Well, don't we got to
Well,
say we
because he
don't
did it.
On top of that, he told the cops he was riding his boat in the same exact area of where they ended up recovering her body and the baby's body.
I was about to say the body's washed up on shore.
Right in that bay where he said he was riding his boat.
Yeah, and also he said he only made one anchor, and they were like, "My man's, you made 6."
What?
But again, they had no physical evidence.
But that's when did this occur?
2000 and I want to say like 7, was it?
Yeah, it was around that time.
Around that time?
Or no,
Social media wasn't even a thing, really.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2004-ish.
It was all over national news and everything.
Yeah, he went on trial. He was on death row, and then
Yeah.
they removed the death row on him because they felt like
I thought they
because
removed the death row from that state. Like I don't
but
remember.
I think
so.
I don't. I'm pretty sure they removed it
It was
in the state.
2001.
I think if he was part of the
It's a tough
case
year for us.
because like they only had circumstantial evidence, no DNA evidence or
Yeah.
anything of the sort. Like his house was clean, like there's no blood there, no like
Yeah, they had no physical evidence. That was my thing about that because I mean the death penalty to me is a very sticky situation. I feel like you should have physical evidence or like because they've killed people.
off of DNA and did
Off
Oh,
the-
you see what happened recently?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
the guy, they had no
exaggerated.
evidence against him and they still gave him the death.
Yeah, and I don't think you should do that because they've mistakenly
Yeah.
killed people.
Well, that's why they're trying to get, that's part of the reason why they try to get rid of the death penalty because
Yeah.
a lot of
I
people
believe in the death penalty, but I feel like it should be like
for rapists.
a little bit more.
But that's the thing is in a situation like that, like bro, at a certain point, what are you gonna do? Like, bro, like especially at a time like that, if the further you go back in time, like the easier it is to fucking like put this shit together. Like with the fucking Night Stalker, they knew it was him because he was biting people and he had fucked up teeth.
Yeah, and
Like-
then they fucked up that
And then they
sting
fucked
they had
up
on
the
dent-
sting raid that they set up, and then he got his teeth fixed.
Yeah.
So then they couldn't use that evidence
The
anymore.
fact that my man
Like-
is just biting people,
like, bro, but in a situation like that, like, bro, like circumstances is what you need with that nigga. Like, it just doesn't help that he was smart enough to clean his shit up. Like
So
that.
I got a question. Was this a documentary or was it a dramatization again?
it's a documentary.
It's a documentary. It's not
It's
like,
a
what?
3 episodes, hour apiece.
So like the thing we were watching earlier this year, the Quiet on the Set shit.
In a sense, yeah, because because they interview everybody and everything.
But it's like, bro, there was a my girl had me watch this Spanish show. It was called I think the Akasa case or something like that.
Oh, the Akatsuki.
No, it was it's about this.
That was
It was a similar fucking thing. It was this family. It might not be Akasa. It was some Asian name, but it was like
Spanish.
no, the girl. It was a Spanish. It was 2 Spanish people that adopted an Asian girl,
Oh,
and
never heard of this.
their first, like that was the first, I think Asian adoption in that region or some shit like that. So like everyone
them.
knew about it, and then she ended up dying and like disappearing, or not disappearing. The parents split up. so she was walking from one parent's apartment to the next parent's apartment. She disappeared, and come to find out, she had been tied with some thread. And when the cops got to the fucking parents' house to like check them, the mom asked if she could go to the bathroom, and there was a bathroom downstairs, but she went upstairs, and then the cop went and chased her upstairs and found like a thread that matched the same one that was on this girl, like in her trash can. And they found out that the girl had been given like 10 times the dose of like a painkiller or some shit, some crazy shit like that.
Hit her with some heroin.
But they didn't have anything
10
like,
years.
They didn't have anything like concrete to link them directly to it.
Yeah.
And like their stories didn't make sense. Like nothing about what they were saying made sense. Like they were stupid. The mom was stupid. Like everybody was dumb. Mom ended up killing herself. But like she,
Then I think we know who did it.
she killed herself. No, she killed herself while she was in jail.
Oh,
but
so then
like
she
the
definitely.
mom was cheating on the dad and all kinds of shit. And then like they were
I'm not gonna lie to you. This whole time I thought it was a lesbian couple.
no.
This whole time I don't know.
I thought it was that Atlanta
No.
episode.
What made you think it was a lesbian couple? There was no context clues that said
No queer
lesbian.
context at all.
Heard adoption and he was like, oh, they can't have
Gotta
kids.
be the lesbians.
It was no. I think it's
All
Julia's right.
ovaries.
I think it was Julia's right. Like that Atlanta episode. Just immediately whenever I hear adoption, it's just I go straight to Atlanta.
Yeah, but then they were also trying to paint it like, maybe the police were biased because the dad watched porn that had Asians in it, and like they were basically
white porn. I don't
trying
want
to
white kid.
Yeah, like, I would adopt a white kid. I ain't gonna stop watching white porn. like what the
I don't like that. This
Have
is
you
where we're
seen
going?
Jada Stevens?
Yeah, I have.
Come on, bro.
I've seen her lately too.
If you
She's
could,
not for
I
you.
don't think I've seen her
It's
before.
not your target audience.
You got to twist the category.
Bro, but like so they were trying to say like they were
You
essentially
see Austin Wild?
Is that Post Malone?
Send pictures.
what? So
Fake leg.
but they were trying to say that like basically they were hinting at it, and then watching this show, which is a dramatization, it's the same thing as these, but it was just in Spanish. But they were basically trying to like leave it up to interpretation that the police, rather than like actually try and find out who it was like confirmation bias. Like the guy that was running the case assumed that it was the parents because of how they were acting, and then he just like was trying to validate that it was the parents.
So I've heard something like this before where
But this case, it was definitely the fucking parents.
in other countries, I've heard this before. It's heard similar stories or similar shit like that where and something happens interracially, and the cops, the investigators, just refuse to dive deeper into it because there's a factor of it that's like not their native.
Yeah.
I find that so weird.
Not as
Well,
accepting as America.
Shut up. They did like it was like
I mean, honest, maybe because like I've seen that a lot.
well, no, this was a national story there, and it was a national story, and it was like, I think that I might be misunderstanding you, but like it sounds like you're saying that the cops are more dismissive.
Yeah.
This was the opposite.
Okay.
No, they were like,
They
how
wouldn't
could
dismiss.
they were like, how could someone do that to their own daughter or something?
Even though
like that?
she was adopted.
Yeah, like,
okay.
like they were like very.
They should
much-
have arrested the husband off
But-
of Woody
but
Allen allegations alone.
What I'm saying is like they were very.
Them allegations is fucking crazy.
They just like had it in their head that the parents had to have done it, so they weren't looking for anyone else.
Oh.
But-
okay.
And even though I don't think they were, even though I like, given the information that's there,
You think they
I
did
think
it?
that the parents definitely did do it,
Mhm.
but that's how they handled it still wasn't right.
Okay.
Like you still have to, you can't just make the assumption and then try to prove your own assumption right.
You
Like
must
But,
have
I mean,
not
you still
seen
have
the
to
first
prove it.
48.
You can't. It's innocent to proving guilty, right?
You have not
Yeah.
seen the first 48 because they get one suspect and they're like, let's get him. That's the only guy we're going after.
That's how the edit.
that, bro. That's how cops fuck shit up. That is literally how.
Oh,
Gotta
cops
keep an
fuck
open
shit up.
mind, you know what
Like,
I'm saying?
bro,
Just
like-
like in the bedroom.
Like
Tunnel vision.
That's for real. Like that's what happened with the fucking like. So what happens is it goes both ways. Like they have a clear idea of who did do it, and then they have a clear idea of who could not have done it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
There's
why
a middle
like,
ground there, though.
but that's why like when the fucking cops pulled over Dahmer while he had a fucking dead body in his car, and they let him go, and he was drunk driving, and they let him go. Like, and then they're just like, oh, well, he's a good kid. You're a good kid. Just go home. Like, bro, like, or the fucking Zodiac killer shit.
Oh, that was out of racism, though.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not gonna lie.
an idea of
Everyone
who had to.
was very upset about that.
It's fucking ridiculous.
The Valero police department was very. I'm pretty sure that woman got fired.
Literally, when you think about it, from like literally every single one of those serial killers, besides like fucking Ramirez, every single one of them had a case like that, where they were like, the police were dismissed them, like Dahmer. They let Dahmer go because he was weird and he was young and
Bundy
white.
got out of prison twice.
Bundy walked into a crime scene. He walked into a crime scene that he committed and took the earring that he left, like while the cops were there.
Can you imagine, bro?
Like,
real quick, let's break down the insanity of that thought process where he's like, I got to get that earring back.
When you
like,
watch that nigga,
the
bro,
level of delusion and like cockiness you have to have.
Pure arrogance.
Oh,
you have to have.
watch that Zac Efron movie, bro.
No,
You'll
it's
see
not-
what
They
I'm
let him
saying.
use the phone.
So
We're in the, like, come on.
bro. So what for
Batman.
me?
They say you got this nigga in the middle of a crime scene.
What
Sir,
are you
who
doing?
are you?
What do we
I'm
got
the guy
here?
who did it.
The mayor's crime scene and you in here.
In a bat suit, in leather.
Oh, he's like,
He did it.
but like, bro, I used to think so before like social media and shit like was like huge and shit. Like I used to like research. I think everyone did. Like you research these crazy killers and shit like that. And when you're hearing about the shit, like so when I was younger and I was reading about this shit, it came across to me like these people were just smarter than everyone else. But then when I watched Ted Bundy's videos,
Negligent.
no, he was that nigga was just erratic as fuck. He was just a psycho. Like he was just really crazy. Like he was like I was like this nigga's just dumb and everyone was dumber. Like that, it was really because like there's
a level. Yeah, I hear what you. There's a level of the confidence that has to be on everybody's part
to allow this to happen. Because like all that this nigga had to do, like understanding more of it, all that this nigga had to do was what he did. Like all he had to do was cross state lines,
right there,
and they don't know. They you cross state lines, it's over.
John Wayne Gacy literally went to jail
for molestation.
Yeah, and then they were like, why don't you work for the government?
Yeah, come on.
And also, here's a construction job. Go ahead and recruit any 16 to 22-year-old boy.
Bro
was having parties at his house.
Bro, there was like 15 kids that disappeared and they all worked for him.
They literally, and then it was not until he had how
cops
many
just looking
people?
around.
How?
I thought was it over 20?
John, could you give me a lemonade? I'm
He
trying
was
to figure this out.
tailed by the police, and he stopped, pulled over. They went into a diner together. He bought them lunch, and they became friends. And then they were like, this guy can't be the killer. So they just dismissed like those two detectives. They were like, we're gonna ease up a little bit because there's no way this guy could be this monster. Look how he's treating us.
Literally, what's that big guy's name?
Crazy.
Which big guy?
He's huge.
Oh, you talking about Richard Klansky?
No,
I'm about to say he's not a serial killer.
no, he's
about the mine?
He's just a blue collar
the
guy.
guy from Mindhunter.
I don't know the nigga name, but I know who you talking about.
Huge. Fuck. What the fuck is his name?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know who I'm thinking of? The big dude who killed his mom.
I don't know.
But he was like the
You're talking about
co-ed killer.
fucking
The co-ed killer?
yeah,
That was his name.
fucking the tall.
He was like 7 feet
had,
tall,
like-
bro. His
I don't know. We don't know
His
the
name is
What
right
about
on the
him?
tip of my tongue.
I know.
What
I can,
about him? Yeah.
I can
What
see his
about him?
face. He was,
Ed Gaines.
huh?
Ed Gaines.
No, that's not it.
Wait,
I was about to say he only killed one
That's not
person.
it.
He did not get away with it.
Kemper.
that's what I
it
meant.
is.
Ed Kemper is what I
Yeah.
meant.
He would sit at the bar and talk to the police about the cases of his murders. and the cops were like little dogging him because they thought that he was just like a cop, like idolizer. Like they thought
That's
that he,
the ego on that.
that's what it is in all these cases.
They
It's
thought
like-
they was glazing.
they thought that he was just like, yeah, that's what it was. Mind you, this dude had like a 130 IQ or something. Like he was an actual genius. But he was in that bitch just talking to him, and them niggas like, yeah, man, I'm thinking it had to be whoever. And he's like, wow, that's crazy. Damn, I hope you guys find him.
It probably is.
And then they didn't even catch him. He turned himself in.
He
probably
turned
got bored.
himself in. He was bored. He was like, I was literally leaving clues, just waiting for you
I was about to
guys.
say,
Like,
he's probably.
I was waiting for you guys to get me.
They had to just show a little bit more. There was a serial killer in Florida. Pretty sure it was Florida. I don't remember his name or nothing, but I remember the acts that he would do, and he would break into ladies' houses and then cut off their heads and then position their bodies in sexual positions, completely butt ass naked, right? And the cops, they didn't know who it was. It was like he had like 7 bodies on him, and they arrested a man with no evidence because he looked serial killer like. The man did nothing wrong. He just had some scars on his face.
He has an alibi.
They finally caught the actual guy. Was the janitor of the school. It was happening at a college. So it was the janitor, regular looking guy. They didn't think it was him at all. They did end up getting evidence that it was him. This, that, and the other. You can watch the documentary on YouTube.
Bro, it's so
But
ridiculous.
and I think the problem is you're so close minded about the case because you have an idea in your head of who it could possibly be, because you're like, there's no way it could possibly be somebody like this.
Yeah.
Because that seems inhuman. This person's ugly as shit. So of course they want to murder.
Wasn't there-
my man wants to go play Beyblade. Leave
Wasn't
him
there
alone.
something like that? I don't know if it was like I can't remember if this was like an actual documentary or docuseries or something, or if it was just like part of a video or some shit. There was something about like some kind of a killer situation, and they blamed it on like a goth kid.
That's crazy.
Wasn't
like-
that wasn't Cecil Hotel, right? No, he wasn't a goth kid. He was a Mexican. He was a singer. He was a singer or something.
I don't know.
And they were like blamed it on him and like ruined his life.
It was like a goth. They blamed it on this goth kid specifically because of like like, whoa, he says hail Satan and all kinds of like all that shit. Like they
And
just
so does Longlegs.
yeah,
And he hasn't killed anyone.
and he's not goth looking at all.
Opposite.
He actually looks very much like a 50-year-old Sterling Heights woman.
Too much Botox. Too much Botox.
Too much, yeah, very Chaldean looking guy.
girl.
But no, you were talking about Dahmer, bro. The same people who made that Dahmer doc made the Menendez brothers.
Menendez.
Hernandez and Menendez.
Oh, Hernandez.
He
and
did
Menendez.
both of
Yeah,
them.
both of them.
This nigga has a weird obsession with serial killers.
I think America has
I was about to say, I think
section
that's just
One,
with
uh,
serial.
Yeah, that's
with
true. But
serial-
like, yeah, he done both of them now. He's doing both of them. They're both airing at the same time. It's crazy. People are a little mad about not the Hernandez, the Menendez brothers.
Well, I heard of people were mad about the Henry. We talk about.
Well, everybody's mad, but they're making the brothers seem a little incestual at times.
yeah, they do. They had them like washing up each other.
I've
And,
heard
like,
that. I heard that before this even came out.
Oh, really?
Well, that's
They
what-
were-
That
well,
they
that's
were
what their-
weird.
That's
They were
kind of what
weird.
their defense was, that they were they were essayed by their dad, so they essayed each other, and then that's.
I don't know. We're not getting into
What's
this
the name of that
debate
burger
again.
place?
I don't think you can essay someone who's essaying you.
On
Well, I mean,
I don't think it's possible for somebody to get essayed and then come back around for revenge and essay somebody else if they're both fucked up
because
like that.
The dad, they said the dad. Was
I get that, but like, I don't know. I mean, you can. You probably can. It just confused me because I was like, if you're both doing it to each other,
Well, they kind of debunked the whole thing because one of the brothers was telling somebody on the phone all that stuff that they were doing were lies, and she was recording it and writing it down as she was talking. So
Set up, bitch.
they had the first one was a mistrial because they couldn't. The jury was like, we don't know who to believe. All right, if they killed, we know that they killed their parents, but they were going to give them the death penalty. But like, they came up with the thing of, we were SA, we were sexually assaulted. So,
was it the truth though?
no, it wasn't.
Okay.
The dude was lying.
We don't. I will say I'm not gonna say you're wrong. But I would say that we don't know.
Well,
we don't know that.
In the documentary, they kind of portrayed it like they
kinda
were
debunked
lying.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, they were lying. Well, they
But
also
didn't
have
they get-
another.
well, so even if there's that, didn't they get caught lying about
That's what
other
I-
shit?
Yeah, they were.
Like so, like nigga.
well,
This is a case where like if that's gonna be your defense, it has to be proven that
the defense team
your
won't do it.
character is like sound.
Mhm.
So like when you say something like that, it's believable.
Well,
if you get
they-
caught lying in anything else, they're just be like,
they
"This nigga's a
they
liar."
admitted it to their therapist. They admit, like months later, afterwards,
they
Eric
broke the
admitted it to the
confidentiality.
therapist.
You gotta say before, my nigga. Wait, my bad. Go ahead. you said admitted what to the therapist?
They killed their parents.
Oh,
like
gotcha.
2 months after, because they said they found
Is that
them.
how they got caught?
That is not
That is how they got
privileged.
caught.
That is not privileged
because
information.
That's doesn't qualify under.
Oh no, murder is not.
yeah, because like once it's a
I think
crime,
only in church.
and that's
No,
Damn,
hell
for
no,
real?
they
Are you
wouldn't
joking?
allow that.
Idea. They do a
No,
lot of
violent.
crazy
Any
shit.
kind
My
of
dumb
violence.
ass
Yeah,
believe
it's
you. I'm like,
criminal act.
really?
You can't even
Crazy.
tell
Bro.
your therapist. You can't tell your therapist that you are thinking about killing yourself or anything like that. They'll have you committed.
Isn't that their job? I'm supposed to tell
They
them
will
that.
no, like
Yeah,
they'll have
you're
you
supposed to-
committed.
They're there to be the person that's like if you're in an irrational headspace and you need the fucking decision made for you. They
There-
make the
I know.
decision.
When I
There was
my
a girl I
therapy was
talked to-
Very different.
There was a girl I talked to that happened to her. Like she went to
Killed her parents?
no nigga what? She went to therapy and she said something along those lines and she just disappeared for 2 days. I was like, where
It's
the
a
fuck did
getter.
this bitch go? And I'm
Get her.
texting her, I'm like, where the fuck are you at?
put
she
her in
go-
rehab, bro. Damn, she wasn't.
Bro, she called me and then she told me like, yeah, like she said that she said something along those lines and then her therapist was like, I really wish you didn't say that. And
Well, that's kind of rude.
that's her job because if you
Well, her job should be to protect her, not wish I did. I wish you didn't say that because now I got to stop you from killing yourself.
that is protecting her.
Yeah, that's
I know what I'm
protect-
saying. Like to say, I wish you didn't say
But
that
you
is
can't
weird.
vent. You
No,
have to
I
watch
wish you
what
didn't-
you say.
I wish you didn't say that because I'm sure that under like that's like it's like a trigger word. Like even if
That's a red
like,
flag for her
she
as a
probably
therapist.
she probably knew that she didn't literally mean it, but she still
letting
had
it
to follow
slide.
through.
I would be
Anyway.
such
You
a
shouldn't
cool
be a
therapist.
therapist then.
I would be a cool therapist. I'd let it slide. Like, you really thinking about it though? Let me know right now, because if so, I'm gonna call the paddy wagon.
Anyway,
He admitted it.
he
They admitted it to the
to the
therapist.
therapist, but the therapist wanted to keep it under wraps because he wanted to like sell it or some shit.
Damn,
Like,
Oh.
bro, so he
Clout
called
chasing in the
it-
90s.
The doc is crazy. Actually, the whole event is crazy. So this nigga, the therapist, called his side chick like, "Yo, come up here, because these niggas are saying that they killed their parents, and I kind of want to witness." So she outside of the room, like it's like a therapist room, like soundproof. I didn't know that. Like most therapy rooms are soundproof and shit. So she listening in and everything, and eventually, like they get exposed to like the police that they did kill their parents. But the side chick told them, because this nigga moved the girl into his house with his family. And she was telling his kids, like, yo, I'm going to be your new mom. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. So she was already crazy.
So they have a B plot
Yeah.
involving
Well,
the
it happened all in like the second episode, which was kind of like weird. I'm like,
damn.
what the fuck is going on? Why
Also,
did
it
they
takes
just
place. It's like
You
switch
gotta-
it over to this?
You
shit?
gotta keep some more story because you can probably wrap that story up in an episode.
Well,
You
well,
gotta-
there's
you gotta
that.
create
but they,
drama.
but they kind of just like kind of went along the lines of like, well, Netflix, because they got their own like little
Formula.
story coming out about with the brothers, and they're doing their interviews and everything. But Netflix kind of set it up to where they show the abuse over years, but it wasn't just the abuse, but like how Eric and Lionel were just so fucking spoiled and just so like,
So that's what I've heard a lot about them. I heard they were spoiled ass brats.
bro, they
who just
blew
wanted their parents' money,
the reason that they killed
and they were blowing through the money.
well,
also.
Netflix, the reason that Netflix gave was they killed their parents because they took them out the wheel. His dad had enough of them. These niggas were like doing B&Es. They were like millionaires. They were up.
Yeah.
They were doing B&Es.
Gotta live.
They were like, he got kicked. I think Lionel got kicked out of college. Like Eric was like a bad tennis player or some shit. And I mean, it was
White people problems, am I right?
It was. And
not
then they
even
tried
white.
to blame. Then they tried to blame it on like
They're not
some
white?
Asian dude in the mafia. Like it was
Cuban
crazy
or some
man.
shit. Weren't they
No,
cute?
they were
Spicy white?
No, they were their mom was white, but their dad was this was Spanish?
So semi-white.
I thought it was Cuban.
He might have been Cuban.
I don't even know who
he
these
No,
guys
he was
are.
he was Cuban. He was from
My knowledge of the Menendez brothers goes as far as New Girl.
bro.
You want any old
y'all wanna
Menendez brothers walking in here?
That's as far as
you're acting. Watch that shit. But it was
I was gonna watch it, but I started the other one,
Aaron Hernandez.
the Aaron one.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's two things I want to touch on with that. Well, we can do it after one of them after the Hernandez.
Okay.
But the thing about the Menendez brothers, which I've been seeing, is like people are trying to equate the Menendez brothers to the Gypsy Rose situation, and
That's what I heard. That's
that
what I
is
heard.
not.
No.
Yeah,
That's a false equivalent because you're literally just taking the assumption that these
that
you're
they're
taking
innocent,
them
that
at
they
their
were victims.
at their word
Yeah.
that they got assaulted.
No,
Whereas-
And-
There's no
and-
proof for that. Whereas there's proof with Gypsy Rose that she was a victim of Munchausen
Right,
syndrome.
and like so there's
That's crazy.
you're taking them at
didn't hear
their
that.
word for that, and then you're also like assuming like I mean maybe the parents were assholes like a lot of
they
people,
were assholes.
a lot of people have asshole parents,
Yeah.
but that doesn't justify killing
They
them.
don't.
Shooting the nigga face off with a
Gypsy,
shotgun.
the shit with Gypsy had like the longest paper trail that you could
Yeah.
possibly fucking have, and like she was moving from state to state because doctors were writing like this bitch is lying. And like she was like, okay, gotta go. Like and
Off to the next.
that shit would not have ended. So like it was that not to justify what she's saying, but like her abuse is literally documented, and people were calling CPS. Like people like were trying to get her out of this situation, and no one did it. So that's a different story.
Yeah.
So they're not.
I didn't know that they were linking it. That's fucking.
Yeah, like, people like-
insane.
Well, people were trying to
Fucking
justify
stupid-ass social
yeah,
media people.
You know, yeah, social media. So they try to justify
That's fucking crazy.
the what's it called and everything. But yeah, regarding the Aaron Hernandez thing,
That was
Um,
fucked up. I've been so
yeah,
that's
go ahead.
probably the one I'm most familiar with. I don't know why I'm so familiar. Maybe because he's
Huge football fan.
No, I'm not. Maybe because he's
closeted.
probably. But I started watching his doc on
big gay.
Hulu. It's actually sad. It's sad.
Like the relationship that he had with his dad.
Sad.
His mom.
The mom being a hoe, sad. Him can be
His
gay.
mom was a runner.
His mom was
Yeah.
a runner.
The
bro.
mom came and interrupted him. And the mom was in the bleachers of a game, and one of the niggas' wives that the mom was fucking. Ooh, I'm language. One of the dudes, even though I don't know why I'm checking myself. Anyways, one of the dudes that the mom was scissoring, wife came up and checked the mama in the middle of the boys' basketball
You
game.
bitch. Like
Right.
You niggas was up and shit.
And
too.
he's like, "Mom."
the whole game paused and shit.
Right,
They
the
just- they
whole
over there
game.
sitting just waiting.
Yeah, and they all looking. And then looking at homeboy.
Ryan Murphy gonna make shit.
I still
Ryan Murphy,
feel-
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Drama.
I still feel like
It
this
was
is not a reason to
sad.
That
kill
was
people.
traumatic.
Well,
I feel like none of these.
no,
dudes-
he had the
yeah.
he has the brain damage thing, so as many concussions and stuff, and brain damage.
Well, hold on. Also, to speak on that real quick,
Gary
he
Busey's
also-
not killing
He
people.
also, well, he did
Not
have
that we know of.
He did have CP, and also Aaron Hernandez, like he felt like he had to prove himself.
yeah,
So he killed people.
That's why he was like holding guns up and like he was doing more.
he was
than
flashing. Like he just like the more power he got, the more he was like flashing.
abusing the power.
Yeah, he was abusing the power, and he was being abused by the NFL. Like it was just like a cycle of bullshit that he was going through.
Even
So like that's why I
they
said
put too
him.
much pressure on him.
They put too much pressure on him. So like he probably had like he
I should have done.
have like crazy anxiety
Right,
because
so
of
you
it.
kill.
Because of this, and then with
we ain't justified.
I mean, we're not justifying it, but like prior to that, if people would just recognize the signs, like now, the conversation now, not to be that
Well, that's
person, the conversation
didn't he-
in mental health now.
That's
is
why I
in
think
it.
these
But,
shows
like,
are
damn.
important.
Didn't
so that
he
you
kill-
can recognize the sign.
Yeah,
He
I
killed
want to get
his
into that later.
Well,
his brother, his wife's, like basically his brother-in-law, right?
well, yeah, that was
I don't know who he killed.
It was his wife's sister's husband.
yeah. It was. I think his name was like something Wallace, something. Yeah, yeah.
I'm pulling up
I
all
think it
his
was like a
records
big
now.
black dude, and I know he shot another light skinned nigga in the face.
Why you look at me with
Free
like that
C
when you
murder.
said
It's
that?
us, nigga.
What-
At the top, it's just us.
You're not light skinned.
with CTE, like not
CTE, nigga.
Not like excusing what
I'm
happened,
serious, nigga.
but that's like a possible outcome of someone with CTE because you do get like
Hallucinations.
overly. You can a side effect of it is getting overly aggressive. Like you get fucked up in the head
Yeah.
and you start like being a completely different person and start being overly aggressive.
Oh my god, bro! And if that nigga was doing, if he was taking steroids too or anything
on
like
top of
that,
that,
oh
like,
my
yeah.
god, he would be
They
gone.
were cracking down on that
Yeah,
shit.
that nigga
it was
would be
definitely a
gone.
chemical
And taking
thing
drugs and shit.
mixed with the ego of money.
There's a lot of different reasons. You know, we're covering a lot of spectrums of killers right now, and I just want to bring up one. I don't know how to word this because I was about to word that wrong. I was about to say one of the greats. He's got numbers on the
Odin
board.
Lloyd.
I was going to bring up Richard
trying to-
McClansky.
I'm trying to find out his relation to him.
No, this is our topic for the day now.
Well, no, we got
Oh,
winning
the
that.
possible
Well, we
motive
already
was
talked about that last.
him learning about him
We
being
don't have to-
bisexual and thought he was
Huh?
going to get outed.
Yeah, what do we need to do a whole thing?
But I can't find anything that them being related.
We only got 40. We only got 40.
We don't need to do 2 hours.
All right, but anyway, with the
Okay, yeah, no,
the-
Richard, no.
But no, with that Hernandez thing, like with him being like in college and everything, they were like, cause he was like fighting people and like he was being just like a outrageous ass nigga. But you know how college football teams are, man. They'll try to sweep that shit under the rug so fast.
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
true.
Yo, you want to knock out a bar owner, bro? Knock him out, but like sweep it under the rug.
I'm gonna ask you because you've seen both things.
Yeah.
right?
Brown,
No,
blah,
what
blah,
I'm about
blah,
to talk
blah.
about because you've seen the Aaron Hernandez
Uh-huh.
and you've also watched Ted Lasso. If you think you're like, what do you think if Ted Lasso? Sorry,
Good.
white man behind you. What do you? If Ted Lasso was Aaron Hernandez's coach, how do you think things would have turned out? You think things would have been a little different?
He probably would have been Tom
Fiance.
Brady.
Okay, there goes.
You think he would have turned him
He
into
probably
Tom?
would have been Tom Brady, bro, because like
His fiance.
the coaches were enabling that behavior.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that was-
Instead of
remember
like
they were-
suspending him, they would start that.
Gay or bisexual.
Like, oh, you knocked out a fucking a bouncer at the club or the owner of the club. Well, we're gonna start you. We're gonna expel Cam Newton, but we're gonna start you.
Okay.
So if it was Ted
if it
Lasso,
was Ted-
he probably would have sat him down, and then he would even if
Why
the
are we
best player
comparing
sat
Ted
him
Lasso?
down.
Sorry, we were
I'm just
researching.
asking how he thinks Ted would have handled the case.
Yeah, because of the coaches.
Yeah,
The coaches
yeah.
coaches were enabling his behavior.
I think
So it's just feeding that ego.
I think Lasso would have let him go.
He probably
would've let-
would have gave him like 3 chances.
No, he would have let him go. Like if you he let Jamie go, and Jamie wasn't doing.
He didn't let Jamie go.
Like he
Jamie got traded because of some Rebecca was on some bullshit in season 1. And she's the one reason why Jamie got traded because the team was getting too good.
Yeah,
Jamie was getting
but-
comfortable.
Ted was not afraid to let Jamie go or bench him basically even though he was the best player.
Yeah.
Because of the
But-
bullshit that he was doing behind the scenes.
Right. What I'm saying is that's different because Jamie also wasn't beating the shit and murdering people.
That's what I'm saying. Like
So
he
I'm
would've
saying
let him
like
go.
but Ted would have
probably
seen that. Ted might have been like, yo, we need to do something. But he doesn't believe in therapy. He does now, but he didn't before. So if we're talking post,
After the Apple money cleared, he believed in therapy.
no, I'm talking about in the show because after old girl came through it and then he was forced to do therapy. I'm just wondering how Ted would have.
I don't think he wouldn't.
No, the coaches
he wouldn't
probably
have-
would have been different.
Ted, like what you're even comparing it to is like coaches who are motivated by money versus that person who's motivated by kindness. Like
Yeah.
he would be doing him a disservice by continuing to let him be in that. environment.
Well,
Bill
Aaron
Bel-
Hernandez coach. Oh, what is
Bill Belichick would do anything to win. He's the fucking NFL coach that was deflating balls before the Super Bowl with Tom Brady so they could grip them better.
Well, Bill Belichick, yeah. But I was also talking about his college coach.
Oh,
What's his name? Something Myers. Urban Myers.
Urban Meyer?
Urban Myers, yeah.
Oh, he
was
did
just
go to
motiv-
Ohio
he-
State.
He was motivated by leaving a legacy and winning and getting a good team.
Mhm.
So he couldn't care if these niggas are stealing laptops and punching niggas and all that other stuff. He was like, yo, as long as we getting dubs, that's all that matter. But going to Ted Lasso, I haven't finished it, but like from what of the shit that I've seen, he probably would bench him. And then if it get over to, bro, he's killing people, yeah, you got to go.
No, I think that he would let him go. I think he would kick him off the team. Like
And
if you like, bro, like that's not something like like, so thinking of a person who's not motivated by like anything, like any of like accolades or anything like that, like thinking from that perspective, the only reason you would have to keep a person like that on the team is because of how good they are. So you're going to ignore what they're doing because of how good they are. I think that Ted would see what he was doing or get a whiff of what he was doing and not want that to infect the rest of the team.
Right.
So you would take the sacrifice.
But my
of
other
this
question is
person.
like, do you think he would do something for him? That's my other
I think
thing.
he would,
and he was also a closeted,
I think he
you know,
would try and
everything.
I think he would talk to him, and I think he would try and figure him out. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think that he would bench him like just like fuck this guy, get him out of here. I think he would recognize that this environment is bad for him and let him go as like a favor.
Yeah.
Like you ever like it's like tough love type of shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know somebody comes to you like it's like so if you like you have a like a junkie fucking friend or like whoever and they come
Look
to
right
you
at me.
and they and then you're like, oh hey bro, you got I'm trying to get this line of walk.
Never.
You know what I can get some walk from?
You never gonna live that down.
It's okay.
But like they come to you, you know what I'm saying? Like or somebody who just fucks their life up all the time. Eventually you got to be like, I'm not going to help you.
And these
Yeah,
niggas
yeah.
You need to learn how to figure it
Yeah.
out yourself. Like
Yeah. And
that,
Ted is known for giving just 2 chances.
yeah. So I think
there's
he
that
would
quote
I
at
think
the
he
end
would
of
have
the
let him
show.
go. But to be honest though, it, like
back for season 4 with money.
I think that
I don't think he's part of it.
that was a cocktail mixture. I don't think there was a good way that was going to turn out.
Oh, Aaron's?
Like, I don't
no,
think there was-
absolutely not. I
there
think that
was
was
nothing
doomed
good
to-
about that. Doesn't he have a daughter?
Yeah, he had it with it. There was no happy ending for him.
There was no happy ending.
Some
in that
people are just
situation.
doomed. Unfortunately, it's as dark as that sounds. Like some people are just
Well,
doomed.
he had a lot of opportunities and just
He had a lot of opportunities, but also a lot of like negative influences from birth. Some people, not to
bro,
be
there was gang banging in Connecticut, bro.
like, yeah, surprising, right? Not to be. I know I was being facetious. It's like nope. Not to be like
Connecticut.
Connecticut,
There were gang banging in Connecticut.
bro.
Nigga,
Bro,
they
he was
gang bang in Alaska.
Bro, don't
yeah,
go to
Alaska's- I
Hartford.
heard Alaska's-
Yeah, you know what?
Don't go to Hartford.
It's seals and clubs that be
Also,
gang
it's
banging.
real close to New York, so I'm not surprised. That's a train ride to New York.
Mystic,
And they can just
Connecticut.
hide in the fucking countryside. Yeah.
To be honest, what did he have? Didn't he have what mental conditions did he have?
The brain damage shit from the
CTE.
CTE. And then he's probably like diagnosed with other shit.
No, bro, he like I'm not
depression and
I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm not.
Not,
gonna,
that's what I'm saying.
like, it's not to make
there was
excuses,
no
but
happy
there was
ending.
no good outcome for
There
this.
wasn't.
nigga. Especially,
Depression
like,
naturally comes from
Well,
CTE.
Yeah, it usually starts as depression, and then him getting Chronic was diagnosed with CTE after he died, which speculated influenced like his whole behavior.
what's it stand for?
Chronic traumatic you know big words.
Yeah.
Damn, they just
Encephalopathy.
The cephalophagus.
That's I think
Encephalopathy.
That's like a elephant
Interesting.
stomach.
bipolar.
Yeah, that's
It's
It's
essentially
a
like
neuro. Damn, his brain was okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
like so this
we'll
is a
finish the
normal brain.
sentence so
Like
we know what
this
his
is
brain
the
is.
his brain was like
damaged.
disintegrating. Kind
That's
of.
like
Like,
it was
that's
this.
like a lot of football players.
Yeah.
They're like that.
he was around a lot of people that
They
didn't really
snapped
give
his
a.
brain away.
He was around a lot of people that didn't really give a fuck
Like that,
about
no?
him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could clearly see,
Yeah,
like
it's
if
just
you
the
even
concept taking
talk to him,
advantage of
all
it,
he was
yeah.
just doing was
He was just
just
trying to
smoking
want
weed. He was just coping a lot.
He just wanted to make a better life for himself and his from jump. Like his dad put like while toxic, try to put it a ethic in him, a work ethic in him, and then and just put too much pressure on his shoulders.
You're
from
going to
jump.
this school.
Yeah.
You're going to this school.
And then him being queer, he would possibly queer. Allegedly, I don't want but you know what I'm saying. That added more pressure to him, and then the higher he got, the more pressure he got. That shit is bound to break sometimes.
Yeah.
So
there was
no happy ending
there was
for
no
him,
good.
unfortunately.
There was no good ending.
Throw
for
all
him.
that
Especially
on
with
there
no
with
one
the
looking out for
CTE.
him.
Like, bro, especially like
So there were signs. There were clearly signs. So if you watch the show and like other documentaries I've seen, there were signs that this nigga was on the deep end.
But we weren't worried about that in 2000.
Yeah.
What 7?
So that goes into my question. I want to ask, like, especially like shit like Dahmer, which is very graphic at times. Do these documentaries or these retellings of these movies, TV shows of stuff of this shit, Are they a positive influence or negative? Like, is it worth telling these stories?
Let me get on
Should
this.
we
I
go
think-
around the table and ask?
I guess, yeah,
I
that'd be
think
good.
that's- yeah,
Organized.
That's our best way of doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
instead of
everybody's
just,
just
like,
screaming.
talking.
But
I'm indifferent about it personally. Like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, Dahmer, no, because that story has been told so many times. You're just doing trauma porn at some point. Whereas, especially because like it comes from they trying to make it sexy. They hire a really handsome guy. Yeah, it's like literally murder porn, literally. Whereas Hernandez could be more of a traumatic telling. Like, yeah, they add sex and they add some drama into it or whatever, but his story can be seen as a warning to an extent.
That's what I was talking to my girl about because we watching it in the gay scene. I mean, it's not a lot of them, but it's alleged. So
Yeah.
it's like, are they trying to it's a documentary, so you kind of gotta romanticize it a little.
To a little bit, there's an
dramatize it a
extent of romanticizing and like putting stuff up just for plot or whatever. Which I think Dahmer was a very good example of just like doing shit for the sake of the TV show. But I think so far, and I haven't finished Hernandez.
What was in there
I feel like they was just overly sexual. Like the scene where the dude who was trying to fight for his life and the voguing, he was like trying to make like.
Well, that guy is still
The
alive.
memes from that
Yes,
shit?
but like even that, I felt was like,
so
come on.
But
see,
I'm gonna get to it.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just certain things, or even hiring Homeboy as Dahmer, Evan Peters.
I mean, you're gonna want
a way
a good
to
actor too.
sexualize him a little bit. I don't know. It's
He
just,
was ugly as shit in real life.
Yes, he wasn't that attractive.
No,
Uh,
but they've had a lot of like in My Friend Dahmer. They had that other Austin
My
kid.
favorite one.
My Friend Dahmer is your favorite.
Not my favorite, but I love him. He's
Oh,
in
I was
a
about to
band.
say that movie was so awkward. I
He's
had
in
to
a
turn it off
band
twice.
called the something era, the Driver era. I'm sorry, and he's really hot. He's like internet's boyfriend right now.
Yeah, I don't know. This
But yeah,
show
they make these they put a level of they keep putting these like
Yeah, I agree with you on that
Yeah.
part. Like, don't get. That's my opinion on all movies, though. Like, not everybody has to be fucking hot in a movie.
Yeah.
we get it. Some people are regular, like
Yeah.
me. But no, I think they're very important.
Lear ate shit. You know who he ate?
You think I'm ugly?
Shit.
You know, no,
Lear
going
ate.
to the
I called
mud.
you
Shit.
What?
I hired you because of your
Because
your
I look
talent.
good. Thank you. He tried to trap me. It's a whole situation. He brought me to his house. Anyway, $50 is
Nick's
$50.
$80, $80, $80.
I did.
Is this whole thing we're talking about? We're trying to get it. I'm pegging all of you because you guys had already experimented with each other.
No.
Got to
But-
Aaron Hernandez each other. That's fine.
None of us are dead. I was about to say none of
Damn.
us hung ourselves in jail. Now, no, I honestly think that they're all very important, no matter how dramatized or anything that you do with it, because you have to. And the fact that they make so many of these is because everyone takes in media differently. So as long as you're
Flying on
getting
the set shit. Like I'm thinking about all the documentaries about trauma lately is just really fucking me up.
Well,
lately.
there should be, because people need to, again, they need to see the signs, they need to understand. And I think it's good that way, because like Ted Bundy, everyone's like, he's
have a boner for him, right?
He's
That's the
too,
one that
he
people have
can't
a
do
boner for,
something
right?
like that.
Yeah.
But I think you need to watch stuff about him so you know that people like him, like who look like him, can do something like that.
Yeah.
There is no limit to what someone can do. There's just because they look a certain way doesn't mean they're not going to do it.
Right.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you. I don't want to interrupt your stream of consciousness, but what I'm going to say is going to be replying to what you said.
Yeah, reply to me.
Not yet. I'm gonna.
Oh, okay.
and I'll say it when it's my turn.
Yeah. So, but like very controversial. When 13 Reasons dropped,
Yeah.
everyone was like, they're
They edited the
glorifying.
suicide
Well, they're like
scene,
they're
yeah.
glorifying suicide, and I'm like, no, they're not.
We need to see
They're
that.
showing you what leads to someone's suicide. They're showing you these people and how you treat someone
Hold
can
on.
affect them.
Speaking on that with
I
13
agree.
Reasons, I did because I watched it when they didn't have the
Yeah,
disclaimer.
yeah. Me
and
and
I
you did the
and
same
I
thing.
also, but I'm just saying, like, as far as like having that disclaimer to let them know, like, yo, this is you about to see a broomstick get shoved up somebody's ass. Like,
Oh, I'm sticking on
well,
season
I'm
one.
just
really.
talking just in general.
Yeah,
Like,
season
just the whole
after season one is a whole different thing.
All right,
Like
let
I
me shut
get
up.
where they were going, but
Sodomy is illegal in Michigan.
You got to pay for it too. Whoa.
I'm pretty sure it actually is.
Anyway,
You're going to jail, pal.
anyway, that one.
No, Antonio, we gonna break you out, bro. We got you.
That's a clip.
You'll look cute in the shots, though.
Right.
You'll look cute in the shots. That's all that matters. That's all. I'm gonna be outside the jail. with a
Take back
sign.
now, y'all.
Free my boy. Free my boy. But no, I think they're very important because I think that some people don't really know these things. They don't know the signs. They don't know how they're affecting people around them. Because you could be bullying somebody and be like, you think it's harmful.
Columbine.
Then you watch 13 Reasons Why and you're like, how am I affecting this person? Like, they're not saying anything.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm doing is okay because they're not saying anything.
Right.
And it's like, at the end, you're like, now you got a tape.
Yeah. 13 Reasons calm me down from books.
Now you got to tape.
Now you got a tape. And I
You gotta
definitely,
pass it along, or else I'm putting on your shit out there.
they definitely put that disclaimer on.
That one was really good.
Season 1 was great. And I think it's very important because people don't think that far. People don't think that deep. They don't think about what their actions are causing. Little Boosie.
Badass.
Especially kids.
Boosie. He didn't
it's
think
a
about what
very
his
narrow-minded.
words caused. And I never thought I'd see that man publicly apologize
That was good. That was
for
Oh yeah, he apologized for his
for the things that he said to his daughter.
I think only because his daughter is honestly, if his daughter was a gay boy, it would probably be a different conversation.
it would
But usually
be,
what you hate the most ends up in your household.
But I'm hoping that that's a first step towards realizing that what you say and what you do does have
Manifested that shit.
consequences. And no, I think that shows like this are good so you have the signs so you can see what it is. But again, like I said, everyone takes things in differently. So like we're all cool with watching a documentary. Some people might think that shit's boring as fuck. So if you make a show that dramatize,
Okay.
ups the stakes, that
Okay.
person's like, oh, this
I took from, and you could take something from the documentary.
exactly.
Okay, I hear you. I never
for
thought
me,
of it that
as
way.
long as you take something, as long as someone takes something from it, and I'm not saying
that's the thing,
disrespect the
though.
victims, but the thing is, this happened. This happened in real life. Like this
Right.
is like there's no avoiding it. Anyone can figure it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you do have to be respectful of that. So you can go outside and be disrespectful to a point.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, that's just up to people's opinions and what they find to be disrespectful and respectful. At the end of the day, it's everybody's opinion. But I think these are very important no matter how you do them, as long as you do it respectfully, because people have to take in the media however they can take it in.
I think that's my problem, but I guess it's the lack of media literacy sometimes. And some people just take it as still take it as a form of entertainment, you know? And I think that's where I kind of have a problem. Cause like the dude who makes it is the Glee guy who constantly do this shit. And he constantly does like gay shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are you doing this to educate people? Art is subjective, blah, 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 blah. We know the shtick.
Yeah.
But like, are you doing this to tell a story, or are you being slightly
Might be a little bit of both. Yeah, me personally, I kind of agree with Nick. Like, it is important for people to see that because some people like might not know that shit. Like seeing Ted Bundy and everything, him being such a good looking guy, and people thinking like,
Nigga was
oh,
not good looking.
Again, well,
He was not
It was
good
well,
like
to-
for the
to-
time,
to them people,
for
to
the
those
time,
people.
and for those people.
All right, I thought the nigga was butt ass ugly.
Yeah, my man's had a caterpillar.
But no, people have to see that shit. But I also like
He looks like what's the name before he got
That man looks like
old?
he eats cereal boxes.
What is his name?
Zach.
He don't.
No.
he don't. Zac Efron was way
He
too
was
out.
part of the Rat Pack back in the day.
Oh, you talking about
Frank?
Frank Sinatra and them. Yeah.
Big Frank? Yeah.
He got bitches.
But also, like,
And
I had a problem with
He
the
was
Dahmer
bisexual,
thing when it
too.
came out, and I talked about it on the pod. Like, sometimes I'll be feeling for the victims. Like, I don't want to keep hearing about my fucking gay son who got killed by Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
I don't like
Like,
hearing about
that's
that.
what
all
I'm
the
saying.
time.
That shit has been done.
Maybe-
so outplayed.
Maybe sometimes, like, I think some docs do this, like, they will hide the person's name, like, just to protect the victim's family, which I believe in too. But also, like, we got to be informed about this stuff, like, so you can see the signs, and stuff like that. Also, like, how we was talking about how the police are negligent sometimes. Like, people's got to know that, like, especially with women, like, I was watching this one doc, like My Worst Ex Ever, and she was talking about her ex, but he was like a police officer or a police informant, so the police wouldn't believe that he was hitting her. Like they won't like investigate that stuff. So that's important to like look at too. So you can call police departments out about their shit.
Yeah, I like that. Real quick on that, because of the police thing, that serial killer, I think it was in Canada, who was killing all the hookers, and the police didn't care because they were hookers. So they didn't. And Canadian, yeah, but they didn't really put all that much effort into it because they were like, who cares about a hooker?
There was something like that in
Black Dahlia.
There was something like that, and I think it was in the UK, but there was a similar thing like that. And then like he fucked up when he killed a girl that wasn't a hooker, and then they came out and they were like, you know, an innocent life has been lost in all this. Like they have preconceived
are innocent
judgments and
sometimes.
all kinds of shit. Like they're a person, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
sorry,
think
you're
that's
not-
important.
That's
Are
a
you
life.
done?
Yeah.
No. Well, since we're gonna be talking about docs, I should have asked y'all this on Monday. I wanted to talk about the.
Nigga, we ain't even done with the question yet.
No, because I want y'all to think about like this before we like y'all answer it. Like, what's y'all like top docs that top craziest docs that y'all seen?
I don't watch docs.
You
Move
don't
on.
watch docs, okay? But I've seen
Occasionally.
a lot of crazy docs, and I already had my list already. So I had like Abducted in Plain Sight. If y'all ever seen that,
Bro,
that
that
might be the
one
craziest
is
doc
wild.
I
lied. I've
ever
seen that one.
Let's
I
do a
can't-
podcast.
Nigga, finish your answer.
Finish your answer.
That way, Mike
Yeah,
can answer.
we'll jump into.
But that was really it. Like I feel I understand the informative part of it. Like, yo, we have to know this stuff. You got to know it. Like,
What was? I'm sorry. What was the question?
how would you feel?
Are they?
Is it ethical, or do you feel how ethical is this constant these constant documentaries and TV shows about trauma in general? I guess, yeah, because like it's the Quiet on Set. I've been thinking about, you know, the Hernandez brother, the Aaron Hernandez, the Mendez brothers. We got the Dahmer shit. We got shit coming about R. Kelly. We got shit. It's just all these documentaries and shit and about trauma.
Yeah. So
And it's fucking like I'm like, ugh,
so to an
it's
extent,
weird.
To an extent,
Informative though, because that R. Kelly shit, that for a lot of people,
Chris Brown
that
about
was
to get
it.
one now.
Yeah.
bro. Okay.
Brown
So
about to
wait,
get one.
if you're telling, it depends. Like
Did he probably go get one? I'm sorry.
Oh, he got one.
if you, it depends honestly on the intent behind it.
Yeah.
To me, because it's like you can tell when they are doing it with the intention of getting a message across. Like if they're doing it with the intention of like, watch out for this, like this is what you need to be aware of, like that is a different thing. And usually, so I would say that like the dramatizations are less, just generally speaking, the dramatizations are less ethical than like a documentary. Because a documentary is like telling the story and you're including elements that really happened and like all that shit. A dramatization is dramatized.
Yeah.
So my problem with the dramatizations is that you don't like, so you take the Dahmer thing. You don't know what this nigga was saying when he was in the room with these people.
Right.
Like, and so
He didn't say that's
so like so
How do you know that nigga was voguing in front of the TV?
like you don't know. I mean, he could have told you these stories, but
Right.
then you're taking his word. But so I think about it like my initial thought is like from the like the relatives and shit of like these victims, and I'm like, bro, and then like we don't hear about these people, and those are real people. They exist today. Like they
Still
are
alive.
They're still alive. They feel a way about what they're seeing and shit like that, and you have no way of
so
knowing.
insensitive.
So the problem with it is like, and I didn't think about that until you said it. Like the basically how the format matters. Like there are people that won't watch a documentary. There are people that won't read a book. They'll listen to. They might listen to a book. They won't read a book or like whatever. So
They'll watch a podcast or listen to a podcast.
yeah. So that matters, and and that is valid. But to me, the problem with that and why I say like it's not just, I don't think it's as important. Like you have to be like honestly at a certain level of intelligence to be able to take something away from something that you're watching.
Yes.
Most people, I feel, are watching this shit as entertainment.
Yes.
And maybe some of the people can link it to a real person. That's why they do shit like they watch this fucking show and then get on the internet and be like,
Bro.
if Gypsy is free, then they need to be free. Like they just emotionally react to this shit.
The lack of
Call them out. Just call
the
them out.
lack
Add
of
'em. Facebook.
what do you call it?
all them niggas.
But just
Media literacy. Yeah.
it is. It's a literal lack of media literacy, and that's what makes it so dangerous. Is because like bro, if Netflix has to come out and tell you, do not idolize this fucking serial killer,
Yep.
shouldn't
then
be watching Netflix.
you shouldn't be watching Netflix. Like bro.
Yeah, no,
like,
unsubscribe now.
and that was to the documentary.
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying, bro? And it's women saying this, and he targeted women.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, why certain people just aren't gonna get it, and there are certain people like we like to think that you're telling a cautionary tale, but in the same token of like some people will see that as a message and be like, wow, well now I know what to look out for. Now I know, like, if it's a school shooter, now I know like what I need to do like with my kid. Some people see that and were like, well, that's a come up. Well, that's like clout. That's why there's so many. That's why like a serial killer gets caught, and then there's copycat killers. Like they start publicizing school shooters, and now people want to shoot schools. Like they're not getting that school shooting is wrong. They're getting that this person's getting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Like so that's like bro. I genuinely cannot wrap my head around, and I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna get you in a second. I genuinely cannot wrap my head around how a person can find out about another person through their murder trial and say, there's no way he did it.
Yeah.
You don't know this nigga.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what the fuck are you? Like, that fucking girl that married Ted Bundy was defending this nigga to that made the whole spectacle
his death?
during the court show. No, until he admitted it.
When you watch your girl
Well,
do
yeah,
that,
basically, no,
Shut up,
that
Lear.
wasn't his girl.
No, yeah, she met him in prison.
She met him while he was in jail.
I want you to believe me.
Bro. And then
If I'm
Ride or
that
die, ride or die, I guess.
and
Yeah.
then
And
like
it's
so this is so you're
people say I-
what you just formed this opinion based on nothing. And then when this nigga finally admits that he did everything, be like he realized he wasn't getting out of it, he admitted it. She dipped, changed her kid's name, all kinds of shit. Like bro, like what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, but that's what, bro. Like,
Yeah, because it was his son.
'cause it
or his
was
kid.
daughter. But like, I'm like, bro, there's so many spectrums to people. It's like at some point, it's hard to say, especially like when you make art and you do like that kind of shit, because it's like self-expression. This is a little bit different because you're telling someone else's story and the story's already out, and these people can find it if they want to find it.
Yeah.
But it's like no matter what, and you're telling this story from the perspective of the perpetrator or whoever it is, people are going to sympathize with it. Like there's going to be a range of emotions. So I honestly do think sometimes you don't need to tell the story. Like,
Boom.
sometimes you don't need to tell it because and that's the other thing about attention. Are you donating this money? What are you doing with the money that comes from? Oh, you're just keeping it? Like,
Yeah.
I feel
Giving it to the victim.
Yeah,
family.
now that you bring that up, I do feel like, I feel like that the money you do make should go to the family of the victims.
Or a percentage of it.
Well, yeah, I was gonna not the whole thing,
money
but a percentage
that
of it
homeboy
should
made
go
from
to-
this in particular. I'm thinking of Ryan Murphy in particular.
8 Emmys.
Hey, production people, I know you're watching us. Put a clause in all
We're
the
doing
contracts.
really well, so
we are. There, McDonald's
we
is
don't
watching
know
us.
who watches it.
Put a clause in the contracts if they're making
Your
documentaries on
arch
killers.
nemesis watching us.
McDonald's.
No, Panera.
Oh,
The person who works at McDonald's is watching us.
Nigga holding his phone so hard it cracks. I swear to God. One day I'm gonna get you, Beboppers.
He just
First-
he
And your little
watching,
cat too.
he watching Uncle Grandpa just waiting for you.
The Bebop anime.
anyway, I know you're watching too, buddy. Put a clause in those contracts where they got to donate some of the money to the victims.
They
of the
don't
families.
though. Like
I'm saying that's what I'm saying right now because I know they're watching.
they
That
don't
would
even
be a way to
consult
make
them,
it some sense of ethical.
Yeah,
you
like-
know what I'm saying?
involve them in some way. Like, bro, like,
You should.
but I mean, like, it's just it's just wild. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, at some point, where does the responsibility fall? Because like this is a little different from like Cardi B rapping about sex or Eminem rapping about violence or whatever, because people would come at them or Marilyn Manson or like whoever, and
Yeah.
people would come at them and be like, well, my kid did this because of your music.
They've been trying to.
And it's like,
Trying to do that for
like,
years.
yeah, but it's like, he's not even supposed to be able to buy my music.
Parental advisory.
Where the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Like when, like, why are you not paying attention? Like, this is your kid. Like, raise your kid.
No.
This is a little bit different than that because, like, this isn't self-expression. You're telling someone else's. It is self-expression to an extent, but like you're telling someone else's story.
Yeah.
And then not even just someone else. You're telling multiple people's story. You're telling the ending of certain people's lives.
And a sad.
You
ending.
got
Yeah.
you got a One
Nothing
Piece of them.
positive. Nothing positive
a One
comes
Piece of
from a
them.
lot of these documentaries or anything like that.
Nothing.
You know what I'm
yeah,
yeah.
Like what is it? What,
Where's the happy ending? What's the moral of
it's
the
like,
message?
but because like so Nick is interpreting these things through the lens of like an educational purposes, but I feel like
that's
most
just-
people are seeing it as entertainment.
Yeah.
They watch these things as
That's what I
entertainment.
said.
Like you ever see the like I saw this fucking meme because you know like girls notoriously love murder docs, and it said something about it was I saw some meme and it was like imagine you get killed and then some girl skips over your episode because it was boring.
I'm gonna haunt that bitch. I'm gonna haunt that bitch dream so much.
But like for real, like they
You'd be surprised. So I'm not a girl, but I listen to a lot. That was it distracted me. So I listen to a lot of murder docs myself, and you'd be surprised how a lot of women got away with so much shit back in the day because they just weren't a factor.
yeah.
Bro, I'm not
So
gonna lie
I
to
think
you.
that's like some sort of evolution.
Some
It's
of the
just-
worst
there's gotta
serial
be
killers
something
are
linked-
women.
Yeah, and
they
they
were
just
nurses.
get away with it. Yes.
Because they're nurses,
They
bro.
were
There's a lady who
nurses,
just killed
yes.
babies. She killed like over 200
There's
babies.
got to be a link to that, like the link to women's obsession with murder documentaries and how much women got away with shit back in the day, just simply because they weren't on the radar. You know, sex
Again, but that's just like that Ted Bundy shit. They
Yeah.
couldn't. They would never do something
There's
like
gotta
that.
be a link to that.
They got
Get out
maternal.
of here, Judy.
Get in the kitchen.
If
Well,
she,
woman
she can't even
killed-
cut the crust off my sandwich. You
Right.
think she's cutting off heads?
Why I oughta?
Guys,
He can say it.
Why don't you
We
find
can't- we
why don't
can't.
you find a nice man to take care of you?
Right.
You're clearly
I think that
We're clearly
but that's,
losing.
but,
But,
again,
like,
that's
but
stigmatism.
to be honest though,
Nope.
but I personally, for me personally, like these things have always I've always been like an empathetic person. So they intrigued me because like my mom used to watch it. So I
That's how I
think
got
my
into
mom
it, too.
my mom
Yeah.
low key gave me trauma because because like for real, bro, because she was always watching murder docs and then 98% of murder docs were like women,
Yeah.
usually younger women, usually like sometimes children.
Yeah.
And so it made me like super fucking scared for women in general.
Mhm.
Like, so I would watch, like, I'd be like, what the fuck, bro? So I'd be like, I tell my girl, like any girl I was talking to, like, don't be out like late.
Yeah.
Don't stop and do it. Like, don't be doing this dumb shit. Like, blah, 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 blah. Like, so I was
We're
always like
feminists.
that. Yeah. but so like that shit always.
yeah, no, for sure.
That
You know who else says
Most
don't
misogynistic
staying out
nigga.
late? Don't go to other guys' houses.
Don't look at other niggas.
Andrew Tate.
make sure my dinner's ready by the time I
Yeah,
get
no,
home.
feminist for sure.
No,
Bitch,
but-
this man is not a feminist.
No, but for real, I was like watching that shit, and so it would like traumatize me. But so what was happening was like my mom would watch it, and then eventually like I would be like walking by, and then like you walk by, you hear something, it intrigues you, so then you can't stop watching it. But then like it literally made me like sick. Like it makes me feel sick to watch like that shit too much because I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
I get scared. Like, I know it's weird because I'm like a 300-pound, 6'1" guy, but like I get scared. I'm like,
Updating your dating profile?
Size does not matter when it comes to murder.
she's single.
Bullet
It
hit
honestly
everyone.
doesn't.
But like, oh shit.
You
Every time.
It's all
I was about to say,
good. One
calm down
Piece.
about my son though.
Okay.
But I
I
get
think you heard me.
I get scared. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. But like I'd be like, damn, I might be murdered. Or someone I know might get murdered.
Bro,
you know what I'm
we-
saying? My mom
we
get-
too big to get kidnapped.
I know, but still, like
Bro,
it's
that
just-
Dad murdered, not kidnapped.
whatever.
But that shit is
the negative impact. And then like, okay, so not only that my mom was a documentary person to a murder documentary. That's how I got involved in Aaron. That's how I found out about Aaron Hernandez, was through my mom.
Oh, I thought you meant.
I thought you meant Attack on Titan.
no. Oh Lord.
Aaron. It's
Stop.
always
Oh, I
one
didn't-
episode. Always episode.
Attack on
is
Titan
one
reference.
nigga.
you hear that? You
He hitting that short bus pose.
Anyways.
that's a
Said that the
That's with your arm the other way.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
yo.
Nick, do the thing. Do the thing now. Do the thing now.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, my mom got me into the Aaron Hernandez. Jeez, where are we at? You said hour
Like
15.
Doodle Bob.
Okay. Lord.
Boy,
Lee.
All you gotta do is slob.
We're be canceled
My bad.
so hard before we even have a chance.
every episode.
It's
there's
gotta be
something
one.
cancelable.
It's got to be one. Oh my God.
We just gonna kick Mike off.
When we do this,
Told
you're
you.
gonna kick me off.
Yeah.
What did I do?
We gotta do the shit.
Get rid of the virus.
Right, you got to apologize like 6 years ago. Anyways,
You got to do it
With a
separately. though.
ukulele.
yeah.
I would like to apologize to the Down syndrome community.
Wait, that's the one she was making fun of?
No, I would never.
He just pointed out somebody. God, you're bad. Anyways, my mom put me on Aaron Hernandez. Also, right.
I'm listening to
I love the podcast. But also, we're just a generation of fucking negative shit.
we
You know what I'm
are.
saying? A lot of shit happened in our lifetime. So like Princess Diana shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all this shit happened within our lifetime. So that's another reason why I'm intrigued. Also, so like it makes me a little like Jeffrey Dahmer. What 30 years ago? Not
Yeah.
even.
Oh,
that
that
could
was
have
I
way
stumbled
longer.
on that myself.
That was,
been me.
That could have been you.
That could have been you, but
I'm
you
a
could've
queer
been there,
male?
Like,
That would have
get
been.
the camera.
life. Kill me, sir.
That might have been 40,
Mama.
40 years ago. No, yeah.
It would have been a minute ago.
Tony, you probably would have fought that nigga in there though.
I mean,
Put his head in the barrel.
if we're
Bitch
talking
ass, you
moms, if we're talking moms, okay, I think. Look, I'm gonna bring this up real quick because my mom. We're talking about death and watching this shit. My mom's got it in the bag because that's her favorite topic.
I think it's a women.
My
No,
mom
no,
is a trauma news
No,
person
no,
too. Like,
like-
he knows everything about everything,
Bro.
And then every time I go out there, be careful now, baby.
No,
they
that-
go
my
get
mom
you.
doesn't do that. First off, my mom's favorite show is The News. Okay, so
News?
The News, The News, and her favorite social media is The News. And no matter what you're doing, no matter what's going on, she will make sure she fits death into the conversation.
Well, that's what the news does.
No. Like I was, me and Big Guy at work. I was talking about getting lunch one day, and I'm
Shout out,
like, "Yo, we should go to Costco, get some, food and stuff." My mom was like, 8-year-old choked and died on a hot dog last week, and I'm like, "What the fuck does that have to do?"
She just
I know how
trying
to
to
eat a hot dog.
She trying to protect you.
No, I know
but
how
it's
to
from
eat the dog.
Costco.
I know how to eat the dog, bro. And no matter what, bro, we were having a regular conversation. She came out of nowhere and she said it was like a fucking hit. She was like, "Old lady got taken out by an alligator last week." I'm like, "Why are you saying this? This
feel
isn't
like-
part of the conversation." She's addicted to death, bro.
You're saying this in a
That's a
negative
good episode
version
name.
No,
of your mother.
bro.
However,
I trust me.
considering where you came from, that makes sense.
Look, my boy. Look,
You came from her. Now, A plus B is equaling C.
listen. Look, I pointed this out at work. All right, so I told my boy Shamar, I'm like, "Look, my mom brings death into every situation, bro."
Just bring it. You don't bring death.
What do I bring?
Bring 9/11.
Gay shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
9/11.
man, I got themes.
Gay
Hitler.
shit. Hitler.
Oh, but look, when I bring up 9/11, she's like, "Why do you
with
talk-"
genocide. Like,
I don't bring up genocide. I bring up I don't bring up genocide.
You bring up some misogynistic shit a lot.
When did I ever bring up?
You just brought it up.
He's not a feminist.
What did I say?
He's not a
You
feminist.
said that women can't vote, and women
Do not say that.
I didn't say that. I didn't even say
Oh
that.
my god.
Women can do anything that men can do.
Anyway, so my mom is
That's
addicted to that.
statistically that is true.
Clip it.
There's,
Oh yeah, of
there's
course it's true.
there is at least a woman that can do anything that
You know,
I-
men
man.
can't.
I
Can a
will
woman score
argue.
50 points in a night?
There's not a woman that could be the best player in the NFL.
you don't think that
T that
you don't,
bitch.
you don't think that there's a you don't think that there's a 6'5", 300-pound woman out there.
I will be following her
That
on
wouldn't
the
be the
gram
best
if it
player
was.
in the NFL. The
I
best
swear to
player
God.
in the
You don't know
NFL
'cause we haven't.
is generally a quarterback or like a wide receiver running back.
Most of
can't-
them are
it's
pussy,
Generally
though.
a
You
quarterback,
can't
though.
you can't find it. The only reason you can't
I
find it is
seen
because
Tom
you
Brady.
haven't
That
looked.
man looks like a pussy.
And I
Damn,
stand
tell it
on
to his
that.
face.
Fuck Erica. I stand on that.
Fuck Eric.
I mean it.
Eric
I mean that. Women for women 2024.
We know who you voting for.
Antonio's confused.
I'm so confused.
No, he got to do that rebranding.
Come on.
No, but what I was going to
What
say
he
to what
said.
you were talking about with like
Yeah.
people being influenced by being influenced by media to do things like
Sorry to interrupt, but this is a very educational and positive episode that we're doing
of
today.
course, bro. We
Jokes
cheering
aside,
up.
this is a very not heavy, but just like we smart.
Did I just say that?
I'm not backing that.
Well,
I am I the only one in the room with a college degree? I'm sort of smart.
Nick is the one
I was
that
there.
I didn't even
was
graduate
right
high
I
there.
have a
So-
college diploma from a technical school.
We're in the same book, kind of.
I was in the dorm room.
I read more books than anyone in the room.
I think if we're going scales, it's like
What about book for
Antonio
book?
West went to a college-like school.
The back cover count.
Jalir was in college but got kicked out. Michael reads a lot of books.
Okay.
I went
and
to
then we
college
got
and I dropped out.
Oh, you're Jalir. You and Jalir are the same intelligent
Yeah,
level.
he just didn't get a lean addiction.
And
Yeah.
then
and Nick never graduated high school. So
But like we're smart in different ways. I'd say we're all pretty intelligent.
yeah, I know my colors.
But
Yeah, carry
what
on.
I was saying, people being influenced by media or like literature to do things like was it Catcher in the Rye inspired the dude to kill John Lennon? Was it Catcher in the Rye?
Damn, really? Is that real?
That's what he said.
Oh, I was gonna say I would just shoot him because he's a dick.
John Lennon.
Well, he made.
Yeah, John Lennon's
he
a
made.
piece
I
of-
is
want
that
to
the
hold
one
your
who?
hand.
Is that the
He
one?
also made "Woman is the N-word of the world." Go ahead and listen to that song.
I have listened to it.
Yeah, how'd you feel?
Tempo little
That thing?
sucks.
Yeah, and do you think he censors himself in the song?
No, of
No,
course
he
not.
didn't censor
He
himself because
didn't.
it wasn't a
It was
good
Catcher in the Rye.
John Lennon's a piece of shit.
But like to it,
Well, he
but
was,
like
he's
to
dead.
an extent,
Woman is
To
the
an-
and it's the ER.
yeah.
You
Oh,
think he
of
was
course.
dropping an A?
Of
Women
course.
is the nigga
Like
of the
this-
world. That might have been a hit.
ER, bro.
That might have been a hit. Put some auto
Hey,
tune on
put-
there.
hey, on the Master PB on Old No Limit. Bro,
I call my bitch a nigga. I call my bitch a nigga.
What?
I call my bitch a nigga. What?
That ain't my bitch.
That ain't
Right, that ain't
my
my
bitch.
bitch. That's my
For the mother bitches, 'cause I'm down for my nigga. Yeah.
Hey.
Antonio just shouted us out saying that we were smart as hell.
And then
We just
fucked
regret
it up.
Immediately,
Complete 180.
Immediately regret.
We about to not. We about to
We
get
did
shadow
it.
banned on
We
YouTube.
did an immediate 180.
Damn. That
But
was
no, I mean, like to an extent, you can't.
more
It's not
diverse.
like
Yeah, yeah.
I
Colorful
think
bunch.
that's why I said like the intent matters. Like the Catcher in the they do that wrote Catcher in the Rye didn't write
Not intent
anything
for someone
in
to get
there
fucking murdered.
that someone could take. Like bro, like
You
but-
murderer.
to
You
an
banning your book.
to an extent, like I would say like the majority of the responsibility and when it comes to like how you interpret art or anything like that is you. But like
Yeah.
like
Yeah, at
it's,
the end of the day.
yeah,
Yeah.
look, but like that's like the same shit as like with the media, with like this shit. Like that's why I said the intent matters, because with media, a lot of times they are trying to manipulate you. Like they are trying
Yes,
that
yes,
way.
yes, yes.
That's their intention. Like with this shit, like, and I've noticed that too. I understand the point to an extent about like certain things, like the fucking what the fuck was the Nickelodeon documentary?
Quiet on the Set.
Quiet on the Set. I get why that's necessary, but like to an extent, but like sometimes if sometimes you can sense that they're doing it for a right reason,
It was
and
the
then
tea.
sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes it feels
The
like
one dude walked off
you're
the
just
set.
capitalizing on
The
like
dude who
something.
did the TV show, the Yak TV
Yeah,
show.
the slime one.
Yeah, he walked off the set when he found out what the shit was about. He thought he was just doing like a memoriam of Nickelodeon, I guess, just like saying, "Hey, I was part of Nickelodeon's rise."
Yeah.
And then he found out what the shit was about. He walked off set.
So what?
Because they lied to
they
him.
told him, like instead of quiet.
He literally said that they didn't give him a name. I don't know if they gave him a name, but they said they went on there to talk about just like Nickelodeon.
Just say we're working on a documentary.
Yeah,
and then
working
so
on the
like
greatest
speaking
hits
of
of Nick.
trauma porn, Demi Lovato is like the queen of that shit. No tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. But
Hey, I like pink lemonade.
I know he about to say, "Hey, I like Demi Lovato."
right, I'm like, ooh, wolf.
She's not bad. She wasn't bad.
She's not bad.
That's what I was gonna say.
But Demi Lovato
A spoonful?
has a tendency to yeah. Yeah. That's why okay. Demi Lovato has a tendency to monopolize her trauma so much. If she makes another documentary about her overdosing or about her addiction.
She got child stars coming out.
and it's already
she
out.
makes her own documentaries about it.
Yeah, she's done 2 or 3 of them at this point. Every time this bitch has an overdose, she makes a documentary about it or makes an album about it. And it makes me mad because at some point you are trying to capitalize off what you have gone through, what other people may relate to. And also, I feel like at this point, your addiction is bigger than you just being on drugs and what you were just, and you being a child star and stuff, because you have no problem, like not even 2 or 3 years later, revisiting this shit and getting people to talk about it with you about it. It baffles me. And so like, yeah, it could be for educational purposes, but also, again, intent, I guess, because Demi Lovato's the queen of that shit. Yep, she just released a documentary about childcare and about child stars, like in the vein of Quiet on the Set, and they had like people, Raven Simone, other Disney Channel stars, Kenan Thompson on there, and everybody talked, and also talked about their own struggles. But also, Demi Lovato also linked it to, oh my God, I'm an eating disorder. Oh my God, I was in so much stuff. Oh my God, I Drew Barrymore was on it. Oh my God, I had my first drink when I was 10. Like, kept connecting her being a child star to all her addictions in life. So like, and then again, this is her 3rd or 4th one. So like,
I think
what is the intent to that at this
like
point?
that's
At this
so
point, what do you, we get it.
at a certain point, I think
I'm
that's
with him,
why
with him.
that's why I said that shit, because like sometimes it feels like it's necessary, and then sometimes it feels like people are like it's like a lane, and then it
Yeah.
becomes a cash grab, like because like so for example, like some documentaries and dramatizations and shit, like they have a place, like so for example, Wes, when I had gotten into a rut and I like couldn't, I hadn't like worked on music or like anything like that in a minute, and then Wes, I guess, noticed that I had been like uninspired, and then he showed me like a XXXTentacion documentary, right? Or maybe it was a Juice World.
I believe I told you about the X one. I think we watched both the X and the Juice one.
That
Well,
juice one made me
But I
cry.
think it was the Juice one that you're talking about.
We watched one, and then I was like, damn, like I did feel
Felt something.
inspired after watching it. We definitely watched the XXXTentacion one too, but then like so in the case of XXXTentacion, we watched the documentary. The documentary is good. You feel inspired. You learned about this person, and then they make 3 more documentaries in the same year. Like,
State trying to get that money.
what? Like, we don't need to see. Like, every company. It's like the same shit about the streaming shit. Like, every company that ever worked with this nigga does
Yeah,
not
no,
need to make a
nigga,
documentary.
yes.
Like, just contribute on the one.
Yeah,
Like,
everybody,
you know,
y'all
like-
unite for one.
Like, you don't need
Nope,
to make a
they all need their
documentary.
check.
Yeah.
You're like so.
They want to split shit.
The Biggie
So
and
you could
Tupac
even-
shit, they got 30
Oh my god.
million documentaries
And
on
no new information. Y'all just
None,
re-edited.
it's just just re-editing,
Like-
repuzzling the same information or showing it in different chronological order.
Well, hold on. Well, I ain't trying to step on your point or anything.
Don't step
Well,
on my
with the-
point, nigga.
You stepped on mine.
French nigga.
Sacre bleu. No, but speaking on that and everything with the Biggie and Tupac thing, that's why it was a doc that came out on Biggie that was talking about like his upbringing and his story and like his like instead of just it didn't even talk about his death.
Yeah.
It just talked about like how he was raised, what he like doing, his
I think that's more
relationship with his
important.
mom, like informative stuff like that. That stuff inspired me. Like the Kanye doc that happened on Netflix. Be quiet, Nick. That happened on Netflix. It inspired a lot of people just because it wasn't just talking about the crazy stuff that he got going on.
Whitney Houston had something similar. There was like a Lifetime documentary that was really good, and then like maybe under 10 years later, there was the big movie documentary about Whitney Houston and showed more of the dramatization stuff. Yeah, it's crazy how they do that. And like, yeah, I guess, I think your point is like really strong there. Like the intent matters. Like, yeah, it's all for entertainment purposes, right? But like, there's a
way to do it
without disrespecting.
Yeah, so I watched that Worst Ex Ever documentary. Like I watched the 3 episodes of it. They have the victims on there. They're talking about the shit. That's a different case. Like, and I think like even if you're gonna take like these dramatizations, you compare like the Dahmer or like whatever the Menendez and like all these dramatizations to like Mindhunter, where like the Mindhunter is like all these characters are involved, but you can tell that they took specific care to make sure that they looked like the person, they acted like the person. They never really got into the killings and like that. They didn't get into that much. And then what they did was accurate to what actually happened.
Yeah.
Like it was like bar for bar, like this is what happened. So they're doing it in a tasteful way, and they're never idolizing or glorifying or whatever, like sympathizing with the killers.
Yeah.
Like they're letting you know who these people are.
I'm gonna check out Mindhunter.
Mindhunter is
I'm
goated,
gonna end
nigga.
up. I'm probably gonna watch that this week. I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna try to finish both of the other ones before I start Mindhunter.
Yeah. I'm not. I know I keep talking about it, bro, but that acting in that.
I see who's in it, and I see like they got some top tier talent in that show.
The Menendez one.
Yeah, I might watch it.
Oh no, in the Menendez one.
Oh,
okay. I thought you were talking about Mindhunter.
But that's what I'm saying, like, bro.
Oh, yeah, Mindhunter, that's up there too.
Yeah, Mindhunter is phenomenal, but like that's why I said that shit too about the intent, and they're like it feels like it's like they're jumping on a fucking bandwagon because how the fuck are they in Spain doing the same thing that you're doing here?
Yeah.
Like, so like they could really do that in any country.
Yeah.
Like, and just drama. And I'm pretty sure they have, because there's a Mexican one too. If I don't like, there's like Mexican dramatization of like murders and like that. Like,
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
and shit. You can do that anywhere. That's like, that means that you're like in a genre now.
Yeah,
and now you're just turning people.
And I just feel like the notch has been just
into a bag.
The notch has been
Who is
turned
this?
so high.
What happened? Oh shit, nigga, write this script real quick. Nigga, chat GPT this shit, bro.
Yeah.
Nuts. Yeah, it is nuts.
Honestly, some of these scripts, bro, some of the dialogue in some of these movies and TV shows, this is why they need to protect AI, because you could definitely tell an automated system wrote this shit.
Yeah. Before we sign off, I do have a documentary that I absolutely love and enjoy. It's not anything that we're talking about, though. It's no murder, nothing. Okay. And I think it's the most creative documentary that I've ever watched, because it's also a movie. It's called American Animals.
Oh, that one was good.
It's with Barry Keoghan, Evan Peters, and a couple other people.
I love Barry
But
Keoghan.
like
Murder on the Dance Floor.
Exactly. But during the movie, they're interviewing the people it's about, because it's about 4 kids in college robbing like an art museum at their school. But they're interviewing the real people who did it.
Oh,
and then like, so they go through they transition from a documentary format of them sitting there telling it, and then it'll just go. Yeah. And the thing that I like most, like, not everybody's on the same story. Some people are like, no, I went this way. So
yeah, because there's always like 3 versions. That person.
Yes, and there's like, bro, there's one part in there that I love, because like one of them is like, he told me in the car headed to a party, and the other guy's like, I told him on the balcony at the party. So that scene that they're in switches. They're still in like the same spot, but it's like, it's fucking genius.
Well, that's
and
cool.
The way that they shot, it's really good, and I think it's like, I feel like, I mean, clearly they could do it because the people were still alive.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like if you were gonna do some stuff like that, would be a really good way to do it with the things that are out now.
That just made me think of something, and we can finish. But that just made me think of something that I wanted to say about that, the morality and the intention of it earlier. The other problem with what the morality of it is that when you're talking about real people and real situations, and then if maybe it would it's 9-1 people that watch shit for educational versus entertainment purposes. I know that I'm like that, you're like that. Not everyone is like that, where you'll watch some shit and then research who this was.
Yeah, I go through a Wikipedia fucking.
Yeah, so a lot of people won't do that. That's strike 2 for you today, bro. You better shut up today.
We almost done.
But the other problem with that is that with dramatizations especially, it's even with what you just said, what you said about the Hernandez one, you said they're showing gay scenes and shit, but this is alleged. There are people that are just going to see this and run with it. They're that was
That nigga was gay.
Yeah, that's where they got their information from, because they're assuming that it's true, and you are kind of fudging shit to make it more entertaining. And then you can just easily you can write it off and be like, well, I said it was a dramatization. I said it was based on facts.
Rob Schneider is a pickle. I love it when you do that voice.
Rob Schneider.
It was trending on fucking Twitter, and that was the first video. Rob Schneider is a carrot.
He's a bigot.
Bro.
I would never have thought.
And then all the diverse characters that he's played,
I would never have thought he was a bigot. Sorry.
But
Carry on.
But so that's another reason why the ethical part of that
It's so important.
is crazy, because I told you guys when we did the call, bro, when Narcos came out, I remember seeing people sympathizing with Pablo Escobar. I'm like, Pablo Escobar killed a waiter over a spoon.
Yeah.
Pablo Escobar at a party, he obviously he was a billionaire. He got pure silverware at this party in Colombia. Colombia is poor as fuck.
Drip.
So Colombia is a poor country. He had this waiter there. The waiter stole a spoon or a fork. It was a single piece of silverware. He hid it. Somehow Pablo Escobar found out about it. They hogtied this nigga and kicked him into the pool.
People in America have killed for less.
Bro, Pablo Escobar was he might have done Robin Hood type shit,
But you didn't cross him.
He did fucked up shit, bro. That nigga, there was no redemption.
There was another one
arc.
with the lady that Sofia Vergara played, and
Griselda Blanco.
Yeah, and they were doing the
crazy
same
as
thing.
fuck too.
They were like, yeah, she did great things for her
Yeah, but what
neighborhood.
the men do to her that made her crazy?
Yeah.
But people say,
Well, Griselda Blanco, bro, all of these people are bro,
yeah, they might have done great things, but in the ethically,
you're that's the
still-
problem. You're seeing them when you see them in a dramatization, you're looking at them like a character, not like a person.
also
And that's the problem.
And it goes back to also, and if linking it back to our realm and superhero shit, and me having a problem with fucking Joker, you cannot
that Joker too.
make heroes of these villains.
Yeah.
It's not okay. Because people take the wrong shit from the story.
In all fairness, only
might be
one
the
person was killed because of the Joker, and that was after watching Heath Ledger's performance.
It makes me mad. I just actually watched the
Heath
documentary.
Ledger snapped.
What? Heath Ledger did snap
Heath Ledger
and then
No, but
died.
there was a murder when Dark Knight Rises came out. There was a murder at the
Yeah, that's
at a
what I'm
movie
saying.
theater.
It was after the Joker.
And then did you know when Joker came out, the 2017 whatever year that came out, that movie refuses to play Batman movies now going forward because of what
I
happened.
would too, because the
Yeah,
Dark Knight
but-
Rises was trash.
But
Yeah.
it's the truth though. People literally defend these fucking villains who they're not good people.
No, they're not good people.
And stop
No.
doing it.
Real quick, because we're talking about dramatization of things and everything like that. There are two movies that are fantastic, and they're based on true events. And one I talk about all the time, what I really love. Where's my boy? Radio. But no, that's not the one I'm talking about. One is Hacksaw Ridge. You're gonna get us canceled. I'm sorry. What did you not learn from Michael? I'm sorry.
What did I do?
Strike. Yeah. But no, Hacksaw Ridge, and it's based off that guy who wanted to join the war, but he refused to use weapons, and he just wanted to be a medic.
Yeah.
And the thing that I liked about that was they had an interview of him at the end. So like you're watching the whole movie and you're indulged in this character. But in your mind during the movie, this is a character, but at the end of the movie, you're seeing an interview with the real person. So that brings you back to reality. Like, this is a real person. This movie was based off somebody else. And they did that on Judas and the Black Messiah. The guy, that Lakeith Stanfield character,
Huey Newton.
they had
Boy,
like an interview with him at the end of the movie. Like the real one of him. So I think that that's also like clearly they're not going to do that shit for like shows and movies like that. But like, I feel like
a good way.
That grounds you, because it is a dramatization, and that does like take you to a world that is not real in your mind, because you're like, this is a movie.
Yeah.
But when you have an interview with the real people at the end, it brings you back down. Because like when I'm watching the movie, I'm like, bro, this shit is insane. Like especially with like Hacksaw Ridge and Judas and the Black Messiah, because that feels like some shit that really couldn't happen.
Yes.
But it did. And when you're watching that movie, you're like, this shit is crazy. And then you get to the end and you see the real person. You're like, hey, bro, like, damn. Like, with the Hacksaw Ridge one, you're like, hey, man, good for you. With the Judas and the Black Messiah, you're like, fuck you.
But that's the other thing about it, which is like, and we'll leave off on that. I'm sorry. I keep thinking of shit, like, as you're saying it. That's the other thing about it, is that, like, and it's not completely on, like, who's doing it, but like, I mean, like, the filmmakers and, like, whoever's, like, shooting, like, Ryan Murphy or whoever, to an extent. Like, the other problem with that shit is that when you view these things as entertainment or just as stories or like whatever the fuck, you are ignoring the fact that this happened and it can happen. Like, people do that shit with like history.
It's not fiction.
Yeah, like people do that shit with like history and like all kinds of shit. Like
racism.
You know, like
that was in the 60s.
Like communist countries, communist rebellions, like fucking like any kind of like government
Russia
collapses,
right now.
like the government collapsing, governments uprising, governments
Israel,
fall, like any
Palestine,
genocides, literal genocides. Yeah. Like you learn about that. To be honest, that's why I got like so fucking passionate when the shit was happening. Like when the initial shit in Palestine was happening, was because I was a person in history class listening to the teacher tell these stories, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, there was never a point in where I was just listening to this like it was a story. I always understood that this was real, and I was like, why the fuck were people so stupid? And I was like, I'm listening to it. I'm like, how did they let this happen? Why did this happen? Like, well, all kinds of shit. And then like we start seeing the shit happen in real life, and I'm like, what the fuck? But you know, like, but that can happen.
Great,
like, girls do get abducted by men.
Yeah.
Girls do get killed by their boyfriends. Yeah. Like, but then I kind of get nihilistic sometimes, because the more you research shit and you read about shit, you realize that people have always done the same things.
Cycle.
And like, the only thing that changes is the technology. So I'm like, maybe we're just doomed. All right.
Technology in the person.
Well, hold on. Well, I wanted to when we was talking about Demi Lovato, I wanted
fucking
to say
French people
shit about Demi Lovato. Like, imagine, y'all getting high, and the next thing you do,
you relate to
next
Demi
thing
Lovato.
she do,
You
she's
relate
like,
to Demi
yo,
Lovato. I gotta make a
why y'all getting high? Like, you know how much
you're not gonna care.
That is? You just see her do.
And just bring it in. Like, yo,
niggas,
we got a stupid ass shit.
Tie this around your arm.
Right. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
We're going to hell. I hate that.
Oh, the
shit.
fuck I ain't.
Buzz
she would not be able to do it after she got high. So she would have to tell him. She would have to give him a time frame.
Yeah, if she was on heroin, she would.
Yeah,
This
she'd have
is
to, like,
how she would have.
come in 3 minutes. Like yeah.
All right, that was it.
All right, Nick, do
Nick,
your
do the
thing.
thing. See you, Space Cowboys, later.